Today, we are going to discuss about the business analyst role in manufacturing domain. As we all know, whenever we are working on the role of a business analyst, we will be performing multiple domains, property and casualty insurance, like P&C insurance domain, finance, banking, all that. In the same way, as a BA, now and then important to have a knowledge over the manufacturing domain. That is even important. Apart from the skill set that we already have as a BA, right? Because knowing about enterprise or strategy analysis, knowing about requirement lifecycle management, requirement illustration techniques, the same time requirement analysis, design definition, performance evaluations, all that. Understanding about the manufacturing domain is also one of the key and important thing. So if you try to understand about the manufacturing domain, manufacturing majorly involves in, to make it very simple, I'm referring this, right? So majorly involves in producing goods through a process or a method or something, irrespective of the good it can be. There are key functionalities that we see in manufacturing domain. Either it can be production, it can be inventory, it can be supply chain, quality, maintenance, all that. So, from a BA perspective, understanding about the business processes or process method systems is one of the key and important element. As a BA we must be knowing by interacting with different stakeholders. Either it can be plant managers, it can be production planning team, it can be supply chain managers, it can be even quality engineers, all these people. Role of a BA, we focuses on these areas. We act as a bridge between business and technical communities, as we know, like by gathering and analyzing the requirements, documenting it. One of the key role that we play in manufacturing is to optimize the production supply chain process by coming up with some new innovative way of um, managing the production, managing the supply chain process, all that. It also supports ERP and as well as MES digital transformation initiatives, all that. So these are the different roles that we see in manufacturing as a BA. Apart from the knowledge areas or the skill sets that we need to have, we should optimize in production and as well as supply chain process. We need to provide necessary business solutions in this part. The core responsibilities of a BA as follows. One is about requirement gathering and stakeholder management. Stakeholders can be anyone, as I mentioned earlier, right? So it can be plant managers or production planning team, supply chain managing team, right? So quality engineers, all that. Next, process mapping and gap analysis by understanding about existing and proposed system is something that as a BA we do. Followed by documenting, either it can be BRD, FRD, right? So use cases, user stories, right? So understanding over the ERP and as well as manufacturing systems configuration support, conducting some user interface test planning, and assisting in preparing reporting and as well as dashboard analysis using any of the tool, right? So we have two major tools available. One is Power BI, second is Tableau. Many other, but of course, two major ones. So these are the core responsibilities as a BA we need to do apart from the regular one. Understanding over the ERP or manufacturing system, supporting in configuration support because understanding the business rules, government mandates, making the changes, necessary changes on the existing system configuration support as a BA, we have to perform it. If you see as a BA, next we need to know about the manufacturing life cycle because BA involvement is uh, more or less needed in manufacturing life cycle because when we are transforming our solutions into the technical perspective, as a BA, when we are learning manufacture domain, we must be knowing about the life cycle of manufacturing. One is production planning. Production planning means any product that we want to develop, right? So we need to know the production planning, how this can be planned, right? So raw material, procuring the raw material, converting into semi-finished good, At the same time, finished good, packaging, labeling, right? So this is all production planning coming to. Next, material requirement planning. Material requirement means whatever the product that we are developing or the commodity that we develop, whatever the raw material or something that we require. This is all about material requirement planning. Next, about the production execution, how the production of manufacturing will be taking place and how do we execute and how to streamline this, right? So how much time will it be taken? Improving the quality, checking and as well as inspection of a particular product that we develop. Managing the inventory, right? So different commodity, different byproducts or different raw material that we use. So managing the inventory in warehouses. Finally, shipping and distribution of a product to the wholesale, from there to retailer, to the customer. This is the overall manufacturing life cycle. As a BA, one should be known with because we may not be knowing where the problem comes, right? So maybe when we are working on the manufacturing side for any industry, let's say there is a problem in production execution, where they want some kind of solution. Unless until you don't know the life cycle of a manufacturing, so we don't understand this much better. That's the reason why understanding about the manufacturer life cycle of a BA is more needed here. This is what generally the workflow, business analyst workflow, wherein we need to do the requirement gathering, process mapping. Anyway, this is part, this is already I told you. Now you can ask me one thing like what are the tools that are we using now in there, right? So we have a couple of tools as I'm giving you few examples here. For ERP and all, we are using some SAP or Oracle Business Suite, JD Edwards, and many other commercial products now and then were all available. So knowledge on any one tool is or application is enough. I don't recommend to everything. But wherein usually I'll be taking this Oracle one. Oracle now and then manufacturing related products were coming up. So that going to take that. Apart from that, it depends on the requirement to requirement. Whatever the tool application that I am using will vary. But end of the day, understanding the manufacturing domain, the process is important. That is what my major focus was. Application is an extension. Application is an add-on, which is not part of this, right? So which is can be add-on there. Next, reporting analytics, right? So knowing about Power BI, Tableau, or SQL. Because SQL generally be used for queries. Power BI, Tableau, anyone, because I normally use Power BI for dashboards, etc. to create. For requirement gathering, to write user stories and all, we are using Jira. For document collaboration, to prepare product requirements or something that we are using Confluence. But to write test cases and all, we are using Jiffer. So these are the tools generally as a BA we have to use. This is what the whole understanding over the manufacturing domain, being a BA, we are learning. This is what generally you are going to learn over the course of manufacturing domain as a business analyst. This is what the whole understanding as a BA from the manufacturing side.